Welcome back. I'm Dr. Liana Lianoff, and this is the second segment in Culinary Medicine, where we're talking to Dr. Ronnie Pollack, who is a program director at the Institute of Lifestyle Medicine at Harvard Medical School. Welcome back, Ronnie.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
And so the last session we were talking about time savers, and we had some great tips there. And so can we talk a little bit more about getting organized in the kitchen so we can be short on time and eat healthy?
Sure. Actually, being organizing in the kitchen and saving time goes well together, because once you organize, you save tons of time. Actually, did you have a chance to prepare the lentils?
Yes, I did. It was so weird to be cooking something and not eating it right away. So what do I do then with these lentils that I have in my refrigerator and in my freezer?
Oh, great question. So one option could be, for example, you can take out the lentils from your refrigerator and make a hummus-like dip. The only thing you need to do is to put the lentils in a food processor and to add lemon juice, salt, pepper, garlic, and that's it. You puree it and you have a great hummus-like dip.
Wow, well, I love hummus, and I'm used to hummus made from chickpeas, but this is great. We substitute the chickpeas with lentils.
Mm-hmm. And just think, if you have the lentils in your fridge, so in like 5 minutes, you can have a hummus-like dip that you make from scratch.
Amazing. Any other thoughts and ideas about making legume-based meals?
Sure. So, most of us think about legumes as a Mediterranean or a Latino staple, but actually it goes great with Asian flavors. I like to make mushroom and lentil salad. I'm combining lentils with mushrooms and sesame oil, soy sauce, spring onion, garlic, salt, pepper. Great dinner.
So the trick is that if you already have some of these basic ingredients pre-made and waiting for you in the fridge and freezer, you can then throw them all together for a very quick meal. But is this for everybody?
I think so. I think that if you're a planned person, so you know that you know what you're going to do with the other portion that you make, but also if you're not, because lentils can be stored in the freezer for 3 or 4 months, so you don't really need to know what you're going to do with them in order to make more portions once you're in the kitchen.
That's great, because I'm not one of those planners. I really like to decide in the moment what I'm going to have for dinner, so I'm all for that. Okay. And any other ideas about how we can use batch cooking to help us stay organized in the kitchen and eat healthy?
Sure. Previously we talked about how to batch cook ingredients such as bulgur or legumes, but you can actually batch cook sauces such as vegetable sauce.
I love that idea, vegetable sauces, and it's another way to add vegetables to our diets. Mm-hmm. Do you have some examples for us?
Sure. When we think about vegetable sauce, so most of us think about tomato sauce because the tomato naturally becomes sauce when you warm them up, but you can do it with any other vegetables, such as cauliflower, for example. What I do, I'm adding olive oil to a pan or to a wide pot with garlic and walnut. I saute it for 2 to 3 minutes until the colors change a little bit. And then I'm adding the cauliflower, water to cover, and I simmer it until the cauliflower is soft. And then the only thing you need to do is to puree it with an immersion blender, and you're done. You have a great sauce.
Another delicious option, and I find it interesting that you were adding the walnuts to that.
Oh yeah, I'm adding the walnuts because most of us like the creamy texture of a sauce, and any kind of nuts can make that happen in a healthy way. And if you already puree the sauce, so with no extra time, I actually like very much to serve it on black beans.
Black beans, now there's a legume I haven't really cooked with before.
Yes, before we talk about lentils, because you do not need to soak them and they are very easy to make. But there are other legumes that you do not need to soak, such as black beans. So black beans, you only need to simmer it for 35 minutes and you're done. And actually the same with the other legumes. I'm cooking the whole bag and then I can either store it in the fridge or in the freezer.
Do you have some tips for us on freezing and defrosting?
Sure. The first obvious tip is to think about the convenient portion for you while you're freezing. Then I can recommend to rinse well the legumes before you freeze them, because extra liquid are not good for the freezing process. And the last thing, I would recommend to defrost the legumes in the fridge. Then they are defrosting slow and smooth, and the outcome is great.
What if I forget to take them out of the freezer and put them in the fridge, or being that last minute person just decide that I want something out of my freezer? What do I do then?
Okay, that's a great question. So if you have any kind of food with high liquid content, so you can defrost it in a pan. For example, the cauliflower sauce that we previously made, you can just take 1 ice cube of cauliflower sauce, put it in a small pot with few tablespoons of water, cover with a lid, and simmer it gently, and the cauliflower sauce will defrost in 3 to 4 minutes.
What about beans which don't have a high liquid content?
Well, that's a great question. So if you have that cauliflower sauce already in the pot, the only thing you need to do is to take the beans and defrost it within the cauliflower sauce. And after 3 to 4 minutes, you'll have a great black beans with cauliflower and sauce that you can have for dinner.
Great, appreciate these helpful tips. And so now let's switch gears to my favorite topic, which is healthy desserts, which are probably a challenge for many of us to make. Do you have some recommendations?
Yeah, so actually the freezer can help us with that as well. So I usually store fruits in my freezer, such as bananas and grapes. And then you can make great ice cream or sorbet or other desserts out of the fruits. So again, the most important thing that you need to think about before freezing is one, to rinse them very well, so you will not have an extra ice on the fruits. And second, any preparation needs to be done before freezing the fruits, such as deseeding or peeling the fruits.
Wonderful tips for desserts, and I want to hear more about desserts in our next segment, but we're at the end of our segment this time. Thank you for covering with us some important tips around making hummus and vegetable sauces, and I'll look forward to next time.
Thank you so much. I think that culinary medicine can provide lots of tools to improve nutrition.
And to our audience, just a reminder that all these recipes are attached to this module. This is the end of segment 2, and we look forward to seeing you in our next segment. Thank you for joining us.